like to call this evening's Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. If I could get a roll call, please.
Melissa Mullins-Mischke.
Here.
Dwayne Hogan. Glenn Minnick.
Here.
Earl Cunningham.
Here.
Greg Zabala.
Here.
Thank you. So we have a quorum. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Glenn, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, I got a little jumpy there. I will entertain a motion for the approval of the meeting minutes from August 20th.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as read. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Petition number 1 tonight is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Mark Rogers to build a garage 20 feet by 25 feet with a height of 20 feet instead of the maximum 18 feet on the side of the house as opposed to the rear for the property located at 14 East Moore Street, Hannah, Indiana, Hannah Township, Zone CBD2.
Thank you. Notice that. Looks nice.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. If you would state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Mark Rogers, and my address is 14 East Moore Street in Hannah, Indiana.
Okay. Mark, let's hear about this request of yours.
I had an old garage there. After a while, it started getting dilapidated and falling apart, and I never really could park a car in it, so I'd kind of like to just have a garage.
So have you already removed the existing garage?
Yes, it was becoming a safety hazard. Kids running around the neighborhood, I didn't want it to fall on them or hurt them or anything like that, so.
I feel compelled because Dwayne's not here. He always says, is that going to be big enough?
I have a small lot, so I'm just going to put one in there so I could park a car in it and maybe a bike with it too, you know.
Okay. And as far as the exterior, you're going to try to match the house siding?
Absolutely.
Is it you're building it yourself?
Yes, I am. I remodeled the house myself as well, so everything's going to be basically new construction, so.
Do we have any remonstrators this evening for petition number 1? Anybody either for or against petition number 1? Any remonstrators? Any questions or comments of the board?
Madam President, as a former resident of Hannah, Indiana, I would like to move that we grant the variance of developmental standards for Mark Rogers to build a garage 20 foot by 25, height of 20 feet instead of the maximum 18 on the side of the home opposite as opposed to the rear. Property is located at 14 East Moore Street in Hannah.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a couple of seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
That wasn't so bad, was it? You're going to...
You'll get findings of fact and conclusions of law from me in the mail in a couple weeks.
Thank you. Okay, petition number 2 tonight is a petition for a variance of developmental standards for Brian Hernandez and Jessica Colburn Hernandez for the placement of a modular home, which will be a larger footprint than the original on a non-conforming lot of 1/4 acre instead of the 1 acre, 8 feet 5 inches from the rear property instead of the required 25 feet, and with 130 feet of road frontage instead of the required 200 feet. The existing home will be demolished for the property located at 7 East Snyder Road, Westville, Indiana, New Durham Township, zoned R1B on .25 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Hi, my name is Jessica Hernandez. And
Jessica, I'm going to have to get you to bring that mic down
Sorry.
real close. There you go.
My name is Jessica Hernandez, and my address is 882 North 400 East, Valparaiso, Indiana, 46383.
So you guys do you currently own this property?
We do.
Okay. Do you rent it out?
It's uninhabitable, the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your plans are to tear down the existing home, make one a little bit bigger. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
We'd like to tear it down. We had hopes of just remodeling it, but it's so far gone, and we found that there's like a couple different foundations and a couple different roofs, and it's just not even worth it at this point. So we were hoping to demolish and rebuild from the foundation. You get a new foundation and get a new septic system. There's a well there already. We need to get it tested and do all that stuff. But we were hoping just to put a modular on it. The lot is very small and it's kind of uphill. So the excavators we spoke with were hoping to kind of level it out a bit for us so it wouldn't be so. But that's why the house sits so far back towards the back property line, because it's on
Slopes a little bit.
Yeah, do you plan on improving the driveway then?
Yeah,
And the drive's
it's very steep, and then it kind of goes up and right into the
sidelines
garage.
aren't very good.
Right. The excavator we talked to said he could possibly lower it like 2 feet, so that would be our hope. Because the garage that's on the property is in great condition. It's nicer than the house.
Question.
Please.
Could you tell me the existing home, what is the back setback now?
It's currently 6 feet.
And that is what I thought when I came out to visit. You're asking for 8.5 instead of the 25, but it's actually an improvement over what it is now. Correct?
Correct.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
A portion of the house is like 6 feet, and then another portion is about 8.
It's like on an angle slightly to the property line.
Right.
Do I have any remonstrators this evening for petition number 2? Anybody for or against petition number 2?
I have a floor plan and a picture of the modular if you guys are interested in seeing it.
It's just a second here.
One other question. You do not have a demolition order at this point in time?
I do not. No, I would need to get that.
The county hasn't moved for you to tear this house down?
No,
Gotcha.
no. Yeah, but
Do you have a site plan that shows the existing floor plan and the new modular, the difference in size? Before you say that, I forgot my...
Good. You had to bring it back from the time before.
I probably had that one.
I guess they do have this.
For now, but the pink will be the new house.
Okay.
And
Earl, do you guys want to look at this? I think it's the new one.
Better place than the last one.
Right.
property and it's just your typical pictures of the outside of it.
Thank you.
Send it down to our housing expert.
Thank you.
We have no remonstrators, so if there's any further questions or comments of the board.
I don't think so.
If there's no further questions or comments, then I'll entertain a motion.
Because it is an improvement from the back line as it sets today, I think I can make a positive motion, to give a variance of developmental standards to Brian Hernandez and Jessica Colburn Hernandez for placement of this new mobile home which will have a larger footprint than the original, on a non-conforming quarter-acre lot instead of the 1 acre lot, 8 feet 5 inches from the rear property line instead of the required 25, with 130 feet of road frontage instead of the required 200 feet. The existing home will be demolished, and this property is located at 70 Snyder Road, Westville, Indiana, New Durham Township, Zone R1B, on a quarter-acre.
And just to clarify, that is a modular home, not a mobile home.
Correct.
In your motion, thank you.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Petition number 3 this evening is a petition for variance of use for Joseph B. Wilson to operate a sawmill whenever it is necessary, possibly every day. The property is located at 2277 South County Line Road in Westville, New Durham Township, zoned ag on 4.99 acres. Petition number 3, are you here? How we just move them down to the last and check on them before the...
Motion to move number 3 to the bottom of the agenda.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So petition number 4, you're going to be up. A petition for variance of developmental standards for Matthew Turpak, owner, and Justin Whiting, tenant, to have a shipping container to store personal items, building materials, and tools with electric and a separate driveway for the property located at 4467 North, 400 West, LaPorte, Indiana, Center Township, zoned R1B on 3.5 acres. I have taught you well. Where is it at on here? Yeah, where is it at on this project? This container.
No, it's adequate.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yeah, Justin Whiting, 106 Ardmore Avenue, LaPorte.
Oh, Justin, I can already feel my questions coming. So you don't live at the residence?
No. We actually just moved from DC about 2 months ago, so we're living with family.
So who does live on the property?
Matt Turpak?
Okay, and he's not here with you tonight?
No, he's a family friend of like 30 years of my stepdad.
Okay. So I know that the shipping container is already on site.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so like I said, we moved from DC, my wife and I, and have nowhere to store our stuff. We had it in storage for a bit and talked with Matt, and he was okay with us putting it on his property. To do that, we needed the driveway, so I knocked down all the trees, put the driveway in, which I need a permit for, I found out since, and then put the storage container there. And we painted it black, which looks pretty nice.
And we're just going to use it for storing things that you would normally just put in a storage unit.
Yeah, household stuff, sort of garage stuff.
How long do you anticipate it being there?
I'm hoping less than a year. So we're living with family, trying to save up money to buy a house in the area or property and build something, but hoping less than a year.
Well, I don't know about everybody else, but I know we've been trying really hard as a board to get mobile homes and mobile home parks, and I like to see, and don't get me wrong, I would love one of these at my house.
Yeah.
But we're trying to keep storage containers in non-residential areas as well.
Understood.
I realize it may appear that it's blocked by some trees and things, but that's my opinion. So I'm asking right now. Are there any remonstrators this evening for petition number 4? Anybody for the storage container or against it?
I'm for it.
This is like the, thank you, noted in the record. This is a quiet group tonight, I don't know. Any remonstrators, anybody else? Okay, any further questions or comments from the board?
May I clarify? Are we
Please.
talking about permanent placement or temporary placement?
He said less
Temporary.
than a year.
Okay, how long are you asking for it to stay there?
Less than 1 year. If you guys do it on a monthly basis, I'd probably by spring, probably April or May.
Thank you.
So are there any other additional questions from the board? Comments, concerns?
Well, I mean, one concern is if we're going to give a variance to put this in there for a short period of time, what are we going to do about it's not mounted properly? I mean, we have code for that shipping container, but it has to set on a foundation.
It's on a gravel recycled concrete. It's not on the slab or anything just because the cost of it. I can anchor it down to the ground, but the thing is 10,000 pounds. I don't think it's going to tip or move. I dug it myself.
One of the inspectors was out there, Dave, with me to check it out, so
Yeah.
he took a look at it.
They tip on the highway with attached to trucks.
Maybe they're top heavy and they're loaded too much, but this one isn't.
They're full of Nutella.
Oh, no doubt. He said it's full of Nutella. Any other questions, concerns, Glenn?
No, I mean, I do feel for him. It's, going to be a hardship. I'm sure you've got some expense in buying it, moving it. I've seen the clearing. You've done a good job. But, I mean, if I'm the neighbor to the north, I'm not going to like it. I mean, they have a beautiful property. There's a lot of beautiful residential properties there, and it's
is
not
wooded.
pretty.
Really? It is wooded. I've talked to most of the neighbors personally and gotten their blessing for it, even before we did it.
And that's my argument is, I don't see anybody remonstrating, and it's for less than a year.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about it, but I understand that he's already gone to some expense and has got it in there. And if we make him take it out, he's going to have additional expense, plus he's going to have to store this stuff somewhere else. We're just compounding his problem of trying to get into a residence. So
if we could just make a note that this isn't something that we readily accept, and if you want to make a motion, though, Earl, for sure.
I would be happy to make a motion if to approve the petition. I do have a question for our lawyer, though. In the light of the fact that the owner is not present, does that present any legal?
Well, the owner was also the petitioner, so I think since they're not actually speaking, we're okay.
Okay, that's what I was concerned about. I'll make a motion to approve the petition for variance of developmental standards for Matthew Turpak, owner, and Justin Whiting, tenant, to have a shipping container to store personal items, building materials, and tools with electric and separate driveway. Property is located at 4467 North 400 West, LaPorte, Indiana, in Center Township on 3.5 acres, and it's zoned R1B, and that would be 1 year from date.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in... Glenn has an additional comment.
Well, I have to ask Doug, since it's not going to conform to the code of the county, do we want to make any other statement while we do this?
I don't think so. You're going to have your building inspectors examine and make sure it's safe, so that's automatic, so they'll handle it.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, your motion passed. And welcome to Tornado Town.
Thank you.
Don't do it again.
See that rolling down 400.
Okay. I lived in D.C. for a while. They had one big tornado the whole time I lived there. Okay, petition number 5 is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Bradley Feast to construct a second accessory structure 30 feet by 30 feet and to the side of the home instead of the rear. The property is located at 8452 East Ivy Boulevard, New Carlisle, Indiana, Hudson Township, zoned R1B.
So you can keep that.
I couldn't help myself. I know that's why you're concerned about strapping and
Okay. Okay.
I don't know, I'd have to follow me. That's not you better.
Remember that shipping container on the last one? Remember the shipping container on the last one?
That was adequate.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Brad Feast, 8452 East Ivy Boulevard, New Carlisle.
We might have to contact
Brad, we know this second building is going to be big enough, I think.
I think so.
I think, okay. So what kind of things are we going to put in there that require
Well, my
to
son
do
lives with me, so he's got a vehicle. I've got 2 boats, 2 trucks, so it'll be full.
Then it's not big enough.
I know, but it's about as big as I can
I was
go
going to say, I
there.
don't think you can get any bigger there.
What is the side setback?
It's 15 to 20.
Would you say it's more like 15 or more
Yeah,
like 20?
More 15.
Okay. I always hate these. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm always like, the property is the size it was today as it was the day you bought it. You knew how big it was. I struggle with this myself. I think obviously you have room to this side of you, but obviously we're worried about emergency vehicles getting back and different things. And as I noted,
There's
you
an
do have,
easement to the
you
east
do have,
side.
yeah, you do have plenty of space for that. So I don't think the safety concern is in play here for me.
Thank you.
Do we have any remonstrators this evening for petition number 5? I feel like. Can you guys hear me back there? Okay. Any remonstrators for petition number 5?
Or against?
Either for or against. Do you guys, as a board, do we have any additional questions? I have a couple. Are you going to put water in there?
No.
So just a building with electric in
The
it?
garage, yeah.
Okay.
Building it yourself?
Yes.
Are you capable?
I might be.
I did see your pickup truck.
I've been in the union 35 years.
Any further questions or comments of the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion that we grant the petition for a variance of developmental standards for Bradley Feast to construct a second accessory structure 30 feet by 30 feet to the side of his home instead of the rear. The property is located at 8452 East Ivy Boulevard, New Carlisle, Indiana, Hudson Township.
Do we want to add a 15-foot setback? I mean, he said that some 15 to 20. Do we want to make sure it's...
I just checked it earlier. On R1B, the side yard setback is 10.
So he's going to accept? Great, then.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
No further questions or comments of the board? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, he starts impounding on land back to the rear. There's a kind of a
Okay, petition number 6.
Should I read the red part?
Yeah, she said. It just
Okay.
reads funny. It's not
Petition
the
number
decided.
6 is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Roger E. and Kim L. Rush to construct a second accessory structure 36 feet by 50 feet and to the side of the home instead of the rear for residential use. The property is located at 1849 North, 685 East, Rolling Prairie, Wills Township, zoned ag on 2 acres. If you would present your legal work to our attorney, which he already has. 'Cause I'm busy. Yeah, I can.
I actually saw the signs, the flags have replaced them when I was out there. It's just gorgeous little property.
I think that whole area is nice.
Very nice. At this time of the year especially.
Here's the drawing they sent to Mr. Misty. Surprises to me. Yeah.
Get rid of some of those.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
They've already cleaned that up. See the need.
Do you have your affidavit of publication? Been mailed to you from the newspaper?
No.
You don't? We need it.
Anne Marie, have you guys got one?
Who did you publish with?
We called, who'd we call?
Like 3 times we called, they gave us a number when we did this.
The Westville indicator.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes they have a problem. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, we can set it over to next month. You don't have to renotice. We'll just announce when the next meeting is, but we have to have that as jurisdictional. We can't hear it
Okay.
unless we have it.
Sorry.
And what happens if they still don't reply?
Call my office.
And you are,
Doug BG.
okay.
Here, I'll give you a card. I know the publisher
Yeah,
fairly well.
first.
I send him a lot of business, so he listens to me sometimes.
So let me just check my calendar here. Maybe it's
October 15th.
October 15th.
Sorry.
15, folks.
So do I need a motion for that? No. So we're going to postpone petition number 6 until the October 15th meeting, and that starts at 6 o'clock here in the LaPorte County Complex. Okay, that moves us on to petition number 7, which is a special exception for William and Ashley Wiseman and Vicki Shoup, tenant, to operate a preschool daycare facility out of an accessory structure previously used as a beauty shop on the property with a maximum of 15 children, ages 2 to 4. The property is located at 7255 West Bleck Road in Michigan City.
7252.
I'm sorry, 7255 is what I have here.
Yeah, 52.
In Michigan City, Cool Spring Township, zoned R1B on 2.5 acres.
So if you look at your packet,
That I was on.
they showed that it was in the rear, but it is apparently the very front building, the rear building. It's on a fairly major road. This is what they told us. There's a second garage. With the drive, but it's right in front.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Would each of you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, I'm Vicki Shoup, and my address is 858 North Honeysuckle Lane, LaPorte, Indiana.
Ashley Wiseman, 7252 West Bleck Road, Michigan City, Indiana.
All right, ladies. We want to run a daycare. Is it in the building that is in the rear that previously housed the beauty shop?
The building's in the front that, yes, previously ran the beauty shop.
Okay.
Roger Rush.
It's on you. And Ashley, you own the property? How long did you operate a beauty shop?
Roughly 10 years.
And when was the last time it was in operation?
She moved out January of this year.
I don't know.
There it is. They signed up on this.
Yeah, he's got it.
He didn't do mailings. That's where this goes.
So is the preschool currently in operation?
We are in operation.
You are currently. Did you get a license from the state?
I am a licensed Montessori teacher, and I have a degree.
So the license from the state to run the daycare?
I am not licensed from the state, but Montessori schools fall under different.
But you're not asking to operate a Montessori school, you're asking to operate
Yeah, it is a Montessori
daycare.
preschool. Yes, it's
/ preschool.
Mr. Beege, does that concern us on legal notice? I mean, what they're telling us tonight is they want to run a Montessori school, and that's not what was published, correct?
Well, let's see what they asked for. Preschool / daycare. That's what was noticed.
Yeah, when I told them, I said it's Montessori, and it is a preschool. It's daycare.
I guess whether or not it's Montessori really doesn't matter if it's going to be a daycare and a preschool.
Am I wrong that a daycare would still have to be
I think so.
licensed through the state? To your knowledge, is the Montessori school different?
I don't have any.
Montessori schools fall under a different jurisdiction.
Well, I'm not sure who filled out your application then, because it definitely does say to operate a preschool / daycare, not a Montessori school. So we're going to operate on the premise that it is a preschool / daycare, and you are not licensed to run a daycare at that location currently, but you're operating a daycare at that location currently. Is that correct?
Just in the last few days, yes.
Okay. What are your hours of operation there?
8 to 4.
If I may, have you had the fire inspector out and the health inspector?
No, not yet.
Okay, those are both requirements of the zoning code. I checked the other two because there are specific requirements under section 14.08 for daycares. They comply with all the others.
They do.
If there is a motion, they'll be required to have both the fire inspection as well as the health inspection.
Okay. So you're operating Monday through Friday, I presume from 8 to 4?
Right.
How many children do you have there now?
Like 10. We have 3 teachers.
You've been before us before, haven't you? About a daycare?
Right.
And at that time, you weren't licensed with the state.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, you know that that's a requirement.
I am, like I said, my understanding was that's what I was told. That Montessori, and this was, I was told by the state, that we were not required. I'm a Montessori teacher. I am trained, licensed Montessori teacher.
I mean, how many people do you have helping you?
2. 3 of us.
So there's
total.
3 of you on site. I mean, it's a busy corner, it's a busy road. The site is just, I mean, the adjoining parking lot is on the road, and there's no fenced place for the children to play.
We are fencing in an area.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not now, and you're telling me there are 10 children there. That's a lot of watching.
We don't, we have not had the children out at all. Until we get fenced in, we will not have the children out at all. And the parents, we stagger, the parents don't all come at once. We have like a 20-minute, so we have, and we have several siblings, so we actually only have like 5 or 6 cars because we have 4 sets of siblings, so.
Do you intend to get licensed through the state for a daycare slash preschool?
You know, I have started the process, and I am actually 66 years old. I'm like to the point where I'm like, I did start the process, and it takes a long time, and I'm not sure how long I will even be, but I am, you know, qualified to operate.
I cannot advise the board one way or another. This is something I would have to research.
Yeah, I would definitely like to have more information and make a motion tonight that.
I mean, I started the training. I started the process, and I was told by them, you know what, Montessori schools, I was willing to do the work. And I was told, you know what, you don't have to. And that's why I chose not to follow through. It was not a malicious or, you know, and I know I have all the paperwork, what the state requires. We follow very closely.
I guess my concern is, having been in front of us before, you know the requirements of what the daycare facility would be, and then to have children on top of it already at your location without a fence, without the inspections, I think, you know, definitely is something to consider that I don't feel very positive about. So I'd like to encourage our attorney to do some further research and see if you ladies would come back next month.
Yeah, because I just now found, I'm going to assume that you have not licensed your ministry.
I've not what?
I'm going to assume that you have not licensed your ministry?
No.
Okay.
On top of that, there's a 110 square feet of outdoor play area required. So one would assume that children would go outside.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's a pretty small building.
So it is, the requirement is 35 square feet per child, and it's more than enough square feet per child. It is almost 500 square feet in the building.
Well, but the Indiana, the LaPorte County Code requires 110 feet outside per child. Okay. I'm most concerned that you haven't had a fire inspection.
And the health inspection is, they're considered like a public watering.
Well, yeah. The code requires a health inspection also.
So, certainly the site could work, but we can't really make any motion positively at this time without a license, without an inspection.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I would suggest that you ask us to table this until next month, because you're not going to get a positive vote tonight. And that gives you 30 days to get these inspections done and get a fenced-in area and come back. I would just say that you ask us, because maybe nobody even will make that motion. If you ask us, if you can get on next month's agenda and correct these errors, I would think you'd have a better chance.
The inspections? Sure.
The inspections, the fencing, the licensing through the state, what the requirements are here at the county.
I just have a question. I saw a preschool in Michigan City recently on Franklin, and the children were sitting out front, and they were like on the sidewalk, almost to the road, almost Franklin. How is that one?
Well, I don't think that one pertains specifically to your request. However, if it's within the city limits of Michigan City, then it would be handled by their Board of Zoning Appeals.
And that's where you should call and give your concerns about it.
So if you are going to ask us to table your petition, I would ask you to consider, is 30 days enough time? Or do you want to go longer? Or if you'd like us to make a vote, I think we're ready to do that as well.
Okay, well, tell me what I need to do in 30 days. I mean, we will definitely get the inspections.
We're not gonna give you advice. If you need the help of a lawyer, you can go find a lawyer, but the board is not here to instruct you.
No, I'm just asking you what you were.
And I'm telling you, the board is not here to tell you what to do. Okay, you're here to bring everything to the board and have everything straight, okay? The next question that I have the board is, are you going to allow operation until she comes back?
I'm not comfortable with that.
Neither am I.
So what your next move should be, may I please have a continuance, whether you want 30 or 60 days, and then you got to figure out what you need to get done in the meantime.
Okay, could we have a continuance?
How long would you like? 30 days or 60 days? 30? Which one would you like?
30.
30?
Yeah.
So with the 30-day continuance, that puts us to that October 15th meeting. And again, that meeting starts here at 6 o'clock.
Motion to continue to October 15th.
I have a motion, I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor for continuing, say aye.
Aye.
Question.
So we have the option of questioning or asking about the operation of this?
I think we need to wait until the next.
Well, no, that's why I brought it up. Is the board going to allow operation until that occurs? And if not, then we need an affirmative motion.
I think that needs to be addressed.
What's that?
Whether or not they can continue to operate with children until the continuance meeting.
I don't think we can hardly condone that.
It needs to be
Without-
part of the motion.
Well, you can make a separate motion.
You want to do both?
Yeah. Let's make it a separate motion.
Okay, so all those in favor of continuing the motion for 30 days, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, so that motion carries. We're going to continue it for 30 days. And what is the pleasure of the board on operating during the 30-day continuance?
I'm not sure how to word this really, but I think it's in the best interest of the children's health and safety that this isn't run until all the parameters are met.
Yeah, in terms of a motion, I think the board would order her to cease and desist any further operations until such time she comes back before the board.
I second that.
So Greg made a motion that was clarified by Attorney BG. And we have a second by Glenn. Do you understand the motion that we're making? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, so we're going to see you guys in 30 days and no operation with the children until that time. Thank you. So let's move on to petition number 8, which is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Kevin Snyder to construct a second accessory structure 36 feet by 40 feet with a height of 23 feet instead of the maximum 18 feet for the property located at 2584 North Pinebrook Drive, LaPorte, Indiana, Cool Spring Township, zoned R1A.
Got all kinds of here.
Did you want this for your file, Doug? Or
Yeah, let's keep that.
you wanted?
Let's show we got enough space.
What's that? Okay.
Well, you're showing you attempted, so that's what we need to see.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. It's, no one, it's tucked back.
Notice is adequate.
All right, if you would state your name and address for the record, please.
Kevin Snyder, 2584 North Pinebrook Drive, LaPorte, Indiana.
Kevin, do you live at this address year-round?
Yes, I do.
And you're going to put this very massive secondary structure there?
You're not going to ask me if it's big enough?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
ask.
think it might be,
Well, it's obvious the first one wasn't.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what has made the need for this additional
I
structure?
have some trailers and a motor home that I've got storage that I'm paying on, and I want to enclose it.
It's that kind of place.
Oh.
And where is the second structure going to be in relationship to the home?
I think there was a diagram. House is towards the front. Second garage is probably about 100 feet back. The next one's going to be in the far, far back of the property.
Yeah. What is the southwest corner?
Southwest corner.
Okay.
It's cleared already. The site was cleared.
Yes.
Are we going to put electric in there?
No.
Water?
No.
Just stuff?
Just stuff. And a drain.
So the roof height is pretty tall. Is that for the motorhome?
Yeah, and I've got a trailer. If you saw the trailer when you went out there, I have to have it high enough to be able to get that trailer in.
Wow, okay. Do we have any remonstrators tonight for this petition? Does everyone think it's big enough? Raj, for what he's going to put in there? Okay. Any remonstrators this evening for or against petition number 8?
Madam President, I should note that on the
Is there a
handwritten
remonstrator?
notice, there's a note. We are fine with that. He does. It's always in good taste.
That was the people I bought the property from to be able to have it not on their property.
Well, that's very nice. Okay.
It was an immaculate property.
Yes.
Anybody was out to visit. Beautiful property.
Thank you.
I'm divorced. Okay, so hearing no remonstrators for petition number 8, are there any further questions or comments of the board? If there's none, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the petition for the variance of developmental standards for Kevin Snyder to construct a second accessory structure 36 by 40 feet with a height of 23 feet, exceeding the maximum of 18. The property is located at 2584 North Pine Brook Drive, LaPorte in Cool Spring Township, zoned R1A.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Petition number 9 is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Joshua Sims to construct a new home with a rear setback of 12 feet instead of the minimum 50 feet for the property located at 12611 South, 700 West, Wanasau, Indiana, Cass Township, Zone Ag on 2 acres.
Do you have your cards? Sure. Oh, okay, I see.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
I don't know how these lots got split.
Parcels
Got split. I was.
He knew Matt's grandpa. He knew Matt's grandpa
Notice is adequate.
when he came in. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Would you give us your name and address for the record, please?
Josh Sims, 12611 South 700 West, Wanata.
Josh, how in the world did you end up with this strange parcel?
Well, my dad and my brother both live opposite, and they offered it to my dad first, and he let me buy.
So Dad owns all the property to the north and the
Yes.
east.
Yes.
And he's not remonstrating tonight, is he?
In favor.
We're not there yet. All right. What kind of home are we talking about putting out there? Stick built, modular? What is your plan?
Just a single-story ranch home.
No giant garage with it?
No.
Okay.
That's next year.
Are there any? Please go ahead.
Are you gonna build it yourself?
No.
Is there a reason that you're moving it so far to the back rather than, I know it's a narrow lot, but I mean, the septic's not in place at this time, right?
No.
And, I mean, the way you're building it, I mean, you could move it a little bit further to the south and not infringe on that. Required 50 feet. I mean, 50 feet's a lot to ask for. But all I'm looking at, I mean, I know it's a family situation. I know that everybody, but things always change. That's the only thing. And yes.
Before you do that, if we could, we're going to need you to come up and state your name and address.
Let's wait till we have a remonstration.
Okay.
I do want to point out that we've got 50 feet in ag for a reason, and that is of farm equipment, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have that situation here because we have a house right behind it.
Right. And I understand that, but so what are in rural residential though? We're still 20 feet, 25 feet. If it's a R1B lot.
For a new home?
But it's
And what the year?
Yes.
25.
25. That's what I thought.
Okay, so before I get you to state your name and address, are there any remonstrators tonight for petition number 9? Any remonstrators other than Dad for petition number 9? For or against?
He's for it.
All right. If you will state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is John Sims, 12501 South, 700 West. Kind of an answer to your question, and somebody's already mentioned how really screwy these boundaries are. My intention is to get them redrawn at some point, and probably between his brother and myself and him, and probably even out some of that property that's there. So in the long run, he's going to have more property to the back. The only reason we didn't do that right away is it was going to take 6 weeks and X amount of dollars, and we just wanted to get a building permit for him the quickest way and get it done.
Okay.
So in the long run, he won't be 12 feet off this property line. They'll have several acres behind it.
And I see that you guys have already removed or demolished the house that's on the south side.
So if we approve this, we could put in a stipulation that within 1 year, that boundary line would be changed so that you'd have the minimum 25. 2 years, well, I mean, what do you think would be reasonable?
You know what? I mean, if you want to put one in there, yeah, we'll deal with it. Make it. If you can give me 2 years, that'd be great. But I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it all yet. But
I can live with
but that'll
that,
force me to
but,
put some thought into it.
I think and I think Lynn is making a point that it's family now, but it might not be family forever. And this, 2 years to get it corrected so that if somebody sells, I think that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, having no remonstrators, are there further questions or comments of the board? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that the petition for variance of developmental standards for Joshua Sims be granted to construct a new home with a rear setback currently 12 feet instead of the minimum 50 feet. The property is located at 12611 South, 700 West, Wanata, Indiana, Cass Township, zoned ag on 2 acres. And then we need to somehow put in there that the stipulation that a 25-foot rear setback will be changed in the future 2 years.
Sorry, I'm just writing. Okay, is that motion is clear to everybody?
A second.
Do I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, your motion carries. Good luck.
Thanks.
You guys all here for the dogs. All right. We haven't had this many remonstrators for dogs since those Newfoundlands.
A lot of them, I think, are for 3.
Okay, petition number 10. For variance of use for Marvin Bowen, owner, and Christopher and Nicole, if you would state your name.
Chris Allgauer.
Very good, thank you, Allgauer. To breed and sell Australian Shepherds at the residence for the property located at 0092 West Powell Drive, LaPorte, Indiana, Scipio Township, Zone R1A. Okay, you want to start?
It was all different.
No, this is adequate.
Thank you. If you would, you've already stated your name for me, but if you would do it again and give me your address, please, for the record.
Chris Allgauer, 92 West Powell Drive.
And your name?
Nicole Lonager, 92 West Powell Drive.
All right. Nicole and Chris, let's talk about the dog breeding and selling that you want to do with the Shepherds. How many animals are we talking about it?
We're talking about breeding 2 female Australian Shepherds.
And obviously you would bring a male in at the time of breeding and they wouldn't stay on the...
We have 6 already. They are all registered at the small animal shelter. They are all up to date on vaccinations and rabies.
They're all licensed.
Yeah.
So you have 6 males currently, any
No,
female?
we have 4 males, 2 females.
Okay. Do you have a kennel license for those?
Yes.
Okay. Is that through the small animal shelter as well?
Yes.
And they're all AKC.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we do have, I realize there are remonstrators in the crowd, but we do have several letters of remonstrance. If you can give us just a moment. I'm sure we're going to have some additional questions.
Okay.
Throwing that one out.
Do you own this residence or are you renting?
We are renting.
It's the residence that I grew up in. My family's owned it for 40 years.
My concern with some of the letters of remonstrance is that they're not adjoining property owners. I think that's true.
I don't think we need to.
I agree.
Yeah. And this person wasn't standing very much.
What I have read so far does not make me think that either of all of them. Okay, so I'm going to say for the record to reflect that we have 5 letters of remonstrance. That are not favorable, but in my opinion, I believe they are not adjoining property owners and do not all constitute bearing on this. So you're gonna have how many litters of puppies are we talking per?
Maybe 2 to 4 max. I don't want to go litter after litter.
It's too hard on the dogs.
Unlike what those letters are saying, I do have a lot of knowledge when it comes to animals. I have volunteered at a small animal shelter. I have worked at a vet, and I did go to school to be a vet tech. So what we have going on is we have 2 males that do not get along, and we have to put them out in groups. We cannot put our animals out together. They will fight.
Just the males do because...
And I don't work, so I'm in and out with the dogs. They go in and out. But yeah, I do not want to overbreed them. Maybe 2 a year.
So I did not visit your property in person. Are there runs out there for like fenced in runs to separate them?
We have a backyard that's fenced in.
How recent was that?
The fence built?
Yes.
It was built in the spring.
This spring.
This past spring,
Yeah,
summer.
So there's
And how long have you been?
a new fence that's...
You're currently breeding dogs at this
We
location?
would like to, yes.
How long have you been breeding them?
We've only had 1 litter.
And when was that litter?
January 27th of 18 is when they were born. Or 19, I'm sorry.
And were you selling those puppies?
Yes.
So in January of 2018, you were...
19, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote 18. You were breeding puppies at that point?
No, I mean, they're just residential lots, doesn't it say?
How many puppies?
They're probably quarter
How many
acre.
puppies?
In that litter?
In that litter, yes.
There were 8 puppies.
And how long did you have those?
8 weeks and a half.
They went and, yeah, they were up for adoption at 8 weeks, and they were gone within 3 days. We had the help of our veterinarian at Maple City Animal Hospital.
Are there any plans to put in separate runs for especially these 2 males that don't get along?
When money is there, we just spent $4,000 on a fence and
$12,000 on the dogs.
yeah.
It's more of a labor of love than, you don't get rich doing it.
Yeah, I certainly understand that. Let's see what else I got here. Don't all raise your hand at once. Do I have any remonstrators for this petition? Okay, so what I'm going to ask of the remonstrators, if you would step down and have a seat, is if you have like a group and you all have the same thoughts, I don't want to have 8 people come up and tell me the same thing over and over 8 times. So if you'll kind of designate one person to speak for you and come forward, that would be wonderful. Well, okay. We'll go 2.
This is noteworthy.
So if you would state your name and address for the record, please.
My name's Debbie Cotter, and I live at 2612 South US Highway 35. My backyard goes up to Glendale. And I am directly affected by this.
I'll show you a couple pictures. Please. These are from my deck. That's his house.
I've lived in my house for 32 years. I own it. I've never had any trouble with any of my neighbors. And the incessant barking is crazy. Crazy. And he says the dogs are a labor of love. They're caged in a hot garage. And I don't know if he plans to heat the garage in the wintertime, but it's terrible. I don't want to go out on my deck because the dogs can see me. I don't want to upset them.
This one. Right, that certainly increases the noise, doesn't it?
Oh.
When you come outside.
I left my phone in the car because it says no cell phones on the door. I have a video. It is like I live in the small animal shelter.
Okay.
How long is the video?
50 seconds, maybe. It's less than a minute.
When the next person comes up, do you want to go out and get the phone?
Sure will.
I'd be interested in seeing the video.
Well, it's what you hear.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I can't open my windows. I forgot that part. I've been running my central air this whole time. Luckily, we have it because our bedroom is in the back. Can't raise the windows. And it's not fair to the dogs to be locked in kennels. I'm sorry. I have a little 10-pound dog. I've seen 2 of the dogs attack another dog, and I have a little Yorkie, and I pray she never gets out of the fence.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who do we have next? I'm going to ask you both to state your name and address for the record, please.
Gail Mishler, 0342 West Curtis Drive.
Tim Mishler, 342 West Curtis Drive, LaPorte.
Gail and Tim, do you live adjacent to this location?
We do not live adjacent.
Okay. What are your concerns?
I walk my dog twice a day, 2 miles in the morning, 2 miles at night. Have to go by their house every day. Numerous times their dogs have come out of their house, come out of their garage to me in the road. On 8/10, I was walking my dog and 2 of their larger dogs came barreling out of their yard, attacked my dog, drew blood on my dog. No one helped me. She was in the yard yelling at them, but nobody came out to help me with the dog. I ran up into the neighbor's house. Matt, you got a letter from him, came from the pool party, witnessed the whole thing. He came up, he checked my dog, he came out with hands of blood also from my dog and tried to console me. We don't feel safe. I have another neighbor that walked her dog. The dogs have come out at her little dog. We don't feel safe walking around our subdivision with them having all those dogs down there. And it's not fair to us. That's our enjoyment in the evening, to stroll with our dogs a couple of miles every night. And it's just not fair. I now carry mace with me to walk, and I shouldn't have to.
Out of curiosity, have you had any police reports made?
Yes, I do have a police report of that incident.
All right. Is there anything additional?
What I would like to add to it is, I mean, we live in a circle subdivision. Besides Gail and the neighbors walking their dog, there's also kids out all the time. They got skateboards, or on their bicycles, or walking. They're doing what kids do. One of our neighbors walks her little grandchild, which will be only a year old coming up, in a stroller. My God, what if it was one of the kids? You know, and like say being in. I don't think we're not against animals, we have animals, but just the treatment of the animals, the traffic that this is going to bring in, as far as people coming into a one-way in, one-way out subdivision. Who knows what's been coming in and coming out? Property values. Who's going to want to buy a house next to a bunch of howling dogs? I definitely wouldn't. But I don't know, smell, feces, where's all that going to be disposed of? You know, but the big thing is, I hope that you guys that the board can see, instead of just giving the monetary value to a select 2, I think we need to look at the safety of the whole neighborhood, as there's a lot of kids and a lot of people walking through there. And I don't know if, in a residential area there, if goods can be delivered if they have to be delivered in person to person, I always thought they could only be delivered either by UPS or a postal service in a residential area. Big thing, like I say, is the safety, the noise. You've got several neighbors that are complaining of the noise. Them neighbors over there on the far left, they just live south of Mrs. Coulter that was talking. They say the same thing. They can't even have their windows open. Mm-hmm. They say they've had one breed. Well, the animal shelter was out there not too long after Gail was attacked. There was many a dog. There's been 11 dogs in that garage in the middle of the heat with a couple fans on it. That's not fair to the animals, and it's definitely not fair to the pedestrians and the people that live out there, especially their children.
Do we have any record of the animal shelter being out there, Anne Marie?
Pardon me?
Do we have any record that the animal shelter was out at that site?
Yes. I believe so. I think I put a note on there.
I saw the note, but
I didn't talk to Jane myself.
Okay. But you're aware from somebody that she has been there?
Yes.
I worry about, okay, we're saying we're going to do, we did a January 2019 breeding. Then when Jane was out there, said, well, this is going to be the last breeding. This is only a month ago, roughly. Well, if they get away with this now, how many more breedings? And I would hope and pray that if you do see it our way, you would consider giving a cease and desist to the business that's going on as we speak.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do we have any additional remonstrators? Either for or against? Ms. Cotter has her... I don't know how we want to do...
I would say we play it on a microphone.
Audio from the podium, or...
Yeah, that's why we do play it from back there.
Yeah, if you play it just from the podium. Time frame is this?
2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, sometime.
Recently or recently? Oh yeah. What was the date on it?
Wednesday.
This past Wednesday?
It was 4:43. Yeah, it says Wednesday.
6 days ago at 4:43 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Any other remonstrators, either for or against? You'll have a moment.
Could I have one more thing?
Yep, you do need to come up and state your name again.
Tim Mishler, 342 West Curtis Drive, LaPorte, Indiana. Like I say, that was in the afternoon. The neighbors next to them, they state that they hear it even in the evening hours. So, I mean, there's a big difference on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Chris and Nicole, do you want to come back up and...
Please.
And again, I'm going to ask everybody to remember that you're responding to the board, not to the crowd.
Yes.
And we're going to ask questions of the podium and not get the peanut gallery going back here.
Can we comment on anything that was just...
I think first let's just see what kind of questions the board has to start with.
I don't have any questions. I guess my only comment is that, I went out to the site, I drove up, I purposely just rolled my window down, and I heard the barking just like that. The fence is there, and the animals didn't see me. They certainly probably were aware of it, but, it's just not the place for a kennel, in a residential area like that. I'm sure you're adding the fence to help contain the escapes and the attacks, but I mean, I feel for them. I know what it's like to have a neighbor that has dogs that get out and you can't walk by that property, and it's just not good in a neighborhood situation like that.
That was my experience as well. Windows down, I could hear the dogs half a block away before I got there.
Greg, do you have any comments?
No, but I had the same experience. I was out there last Saturday.
Okay. I know I have experience with hunting dogs, but my feeling is that Australian Shepherds are a little bit more aggressive if they're not exercised. And I don't know enough. I'm not an expert on this, but from what I'm hearing from the neighbors, that there's, contained quite a bit in the garage. Maybe that's part of the reason they're...
We've been told by the veterinarian ours are very outgoing, in all honesty. They have never gone after people.
Excuse me? Okay, we're going to ask you to direct your comments to me, please.
It's okay.
So you said they've never gone after people?
Yes. I have a video. We have 6 kids, so they're concerned about children walking. We have 6 kids that age from 2 to 14. They are around them constantly. The dogs you hear in the garage, we have 2 out, 2 in their cages, and 2 in the house at all times. Rotation. I'm not going to have 6 dogs at all times in my house. Not that it's any, because of hearing phone calls and letters and all that, we don't want people to think that we are downsizing because of them. I have baseball, I have softball with my children. We want 2 females and 1 male. That is our goal. And if it's anybody's business, then they are already posted for sale.
Would you say that your dogs have been aggressive
towards
people walking along the street or other animals on the street?
Towards one that he did attack Gail's dog.
Because I don't recall the word you used exactly, that your vet said they were...
They're very outgoing. For an Australian Shepherd. We have 1 that's a female that is aggressive, but we do not let her out. That is not the one that went after Gail's dog. In all honesty, Apollo was in the wrong for going out the road, but he goes across the street and plays with Spencer across the street. When she claims that I was out there and not helping her, I was helping her by getting my dog back where it was contained in the fence. I was simply trying to let them from a cage to our backyard. Okay. So I couldn't help. I was trying to contain my dog.
Can I bring something up?
What do you have there? If you'll stay at the podium for me. Is it a video?
No, this isn't. This is just about Australian Shepherds.
This is rebuttal. We don't bring new information.
Okay.
No.
Well,
We're good. So you're going to go from the 2 females and 2 males? I'm sorry, 4 males and 2 females, down to 2 females and 1 male.
1 male. We can't do it overnight like people want us to either. I have $2,000 just purchasing those dogs. I am not going to give them away. And they are like my kids.
Okay. So we've asked for remonstrators tonight for petition number 10. Do we have any additional questions or comments of the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, simply put, it can't go on the way it is. we certainly feel for you, and I think probably everybody knows that you probably need a little time to break down your business, which you basically have. So that being said, and I'm hoping that the fence contains them, in the short interim period here. But I want to ask and make a motion that the petition for a variance for use for Marvin Bowen, owner, and Christopher L. Grover and Nicole Langener to breed and sell Australian shepherds at their residence be denied. The property is located at 0092 West Powell Drive, LaPorte, Indiana, Scipio Township, zoned R1A. I think we act on that to start, and then...
This is the only thing for the board of it.
So I have a motion to deny the petition. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of denying the petition, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none.
Can I ask a question?
If we don't breed, do we have to get rid of our dogs? That's not what we're here for.
The only thing in front of the board tonight is your request for a variance.
Thank you.
I would hope that you would consider your neighbors in your thoughts.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up petition number 3 one more time. Petition for a variance of use for Joseph B. Wilson to operate a sawmill whenever it is necessary, possibly every day, for the property located at 2277 South County Line Road, Westville, Indiana, New Durham Township, zoned ag on 4.99 acres. Mr. Wilson, are you here? Do I need a motion to table him to next month?
Yeah, probably should.
Annie, do we?
Pardon me? Need a motion to table item 3 till next month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll make the motion that we table item 3 till next month.
Thank you, Greg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, they're moved to next month. Wait.
I was here to demonstrate. There are building materials on that site.
I think.
So I'd like to understand what that implies.
So
I don't.
It'll.
Wait. If we tabled it already, can we?
No, we're good. No discussion.
Can you?
So the building materials, they can erect a building that.
You'll have to come back next month, and hopefully they will show up so they can explain to us what they have going on. Okay. And that's all we can do at this
If you have
time.
a concern, you can direct it to the building commissioner. She can send a building inspector out there tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd like to know if there's a building permit for the materials.
Attorney BG, do we have any further business in front of the board?
Materials. You'll need a building permit.
Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Okay.
All in favor say aye. Let's adjourn this thing. Thank you, gentlemen.